starting out East. So this is an interesting one, real quick. Round one. So who plays the Celtics?
I have Miami. I think Miami is going to be the 8 seed, not the
Okay.
7 seed.
I have Toronto. I think Miami
does this
is going
man have
to.
Miami missing? Wow.
I think Miami is going to
Bold.
crash and burn. So I have Celtics, Raptors, Celtics in 5. So then Knicks, Magic would be the next matchup that I would have, the 2 and the 7. Knicks in 6. Then I have Indiana, Milwaukee, Pacers in 7. That's going to be a fun series. Those two have become rivals over the last year. And Giannis wants his ball. Giannis wants his ball. And then 76ers, Cavs, Sixers in 7. So I have Celtics, Knicks, Pacers, and Sixers advancing. Those are also my top 4 seeds. So I have chalk.
Just go through the rest of your picks. I don't want to confuse people.
I went then semis, so Celtics, Sixers, Celtics in 6. I mean, what are we fucking doing? And then Knicks, Pacers, little rematch. Knicks in 7. Then I have Celtics, Knicks in the conference finals. Celtics in 6. So that's my East. Pretty chalky for me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, so I have round 9,000 between the number 1 seeded Boston Celtics and number 8 seeded Miami Heat. They just play every playoff.
I think the gods
can't avoid each other.
The gods like, we're tired of this. Something else, please. Something new.
We just get Boston and Miami in the playoffs every year. Boston is going to beat Miami. Sorry, Jimmy Butler fans. Then I have Orlando Knicks. Orlando's going to give them a push. They're going to give them a push. I'm going to go Knicks in 7 on that one. Then we've got Cleveland and Indiana in the 3-6. Give me Cleveland. I think Cleveland is a team that's more suited to the playoffs. Indiana, a team that's more suited to the regular season. Although, of course, Indiana went farther in the playoffs last year than Cleveland did. But Cleveland was, no Mobley, barely Darius Garland, no Mitchell, no Allen. And then Philadelphia, Milwaukee in round 1. The loser of this series has to have a very, very serious internal conversation here.
It's like Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr dueling. It's like there's death. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad for the team that does not win that matchup. And I have Milwaukee losing. I have Philadelphia moving on. So then I have the Knicks taking on Cleveland, a rematch of round 1 a couple years ago. Knicks moving on.
Donovan Mitchell, 6. Turn those lights off! Turn those lights off!
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, the what could have been game.
Yeah. Yep.
So I have the Knicks advancing to the final conference finals, then Boston versus Philly. Joel Embiid can't beat Boston. But I do think it's going to be a competitive series. I'm going to go 6 or 7 in that one. Okay. And then Boston over the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals in 6. Yep. So we both have Boston a harder path than last year for sure. Last year, even you would admit as a Celtics fan, kind of sleepy. Little sleepy.
You should have seen Denver's run the year before.
They still beat the Lakers, and they beat the Suns, and they beat the Timberwolves, who, listen, I think those 3 teams are better than any of the teams the Celtics played in the Eastern
All those
Conference
teams had less
year.
than 50 wins. I'm just saying, all had less than 50 wins.
So. Did they play any team that had 50 wins in the playoffs last year? Outside of the Mavs?
Cleveland.
Cleveland had 50? Oh, yeah, Cleveland probably got to 50, 51. Okay, let's move out west. You'll go. I'll go through mine first.
Yeah, you take yours.
I have the Lakers getting the 7 seed and playing Minnesota in round 1, and then getting the 8 seed. I have the Warriors. So then I have the Warriors taking on Oklahoma City in round 1. OKC Warriors, Thunder in 5. Minnesota Lakers. Lakers in 6. 7 seeded Lakers upset the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Deeply unserious.
They miss Karl Anthony Towns.
That's your reason? Are you serious? Yeah. Is this real?
Yeah.
You have the Lakers beating Minnesota in the playoffs because Minnesota is going to miss Karl Anthony Towns.
That is correct. Lakers are moving on.
Proceed.
Lakers are moving on. 3 seed Denver, 6 seed Phoenix, belt to ass like we saw in the playoffs. a couple years ago. Just kidding. I actually do have Denver. I do have Denver advancing, but this is going to be really good. Give me Denver in 7 over Phoenix. Then we've got Memphis, Dallas. 2, as you said, tough teams, but Dallas has been there more experienced. Dallas in 6. So then we got Oklahoma City versus Dallas, a rematch. Basically the exact same matchup last year, the 1 versus 4, even though it was 1 versus 1 versus 5. Yeah, I have Dallas 5 and Dallas was 5 last year. And I have Dallas beating them. I have Dallas beating the Thunder. I agree. I think the Thunder are going to run away with the regular season. Don't have the most confidence of them in the playoffs. And then I have Denver Lakers, and guess what, Lakers fans? Third time is not the charm.
All right, you're redeeming yourself now. I mean, the boogeyman's coming back to Crypto.com arena, folks.
Yeah, so Jamal Murray is probably going to shoot like 28% against Phoenix in round 1 and then come back and shoot 79% on 15 3-point attempts
Caleb Martin
against the
looking
Lakers.
ass. Yep.
So then I have Denver versus Dallas, the Eastern European battle for the ages, Luka versus Jokic. And then I have...
I'm an Eastern European person, fist pumping in the crowd.
And then I have the Denver Nuggets advancing to the NBA Finals. I poo-pooed their supporting cast earlier. I think one of those guys is going to show up. Like, one of those guys is going to turn out to be very important.
Tricky, Henry. Tricky guy.
Let everyone astray. I'll save my finals pick, but yes, I have Denver defeating the Mavericks in the Western Conference Finals.
All right. This might look a little different. So I have Minnesota's the 1 seed. The team that is the 8 seed in my bracket is going to be Sacramento. They'll lose their first matchup, win the second. So it'll be Minnesota against Sacramento, Wolves in 5. Then I have Oklahoma City as the 2. They'll play the winner of the 7-8 game, which will be Houston, my 8 seed. Oklahoma City in 6. Dallas Phoenix is my 3-6 matchup. Dallas in 5. Then I have Denver and Memphis in my 4-5 matchup. Denver being the 4, Memphis being the 5. Memphis in 7. You have Jokic going to the promised land. I'm going home in the first round of his horses. So then in the conference semis, somehow, through our weird ways, I also have an Oklahoma City versus Dallas, different seeds. And I also have Dallas in 6. So somehow we agree. Oklahoma City, sorry. This is going to be a tough one. And then I have Minnesota, Memphis. Minnesota in 7. That's going to be a hell of a series. The trash talk between Ja and Ant Edwards going to go absolutely fucking nuclear. So then, Western Conference Finals, a rematch, Minnesota and Dallas. Wolves in 7. They get it done. And they head to the NBA Finals to face my Boston Celtics. So you have Nuggets, Celtics. I have Wolves, Celtics.
How many games do you have the Celtics winning the title in?
6.
7. Boston in 7 over Denver. I know everyone seems to do this. Every year we say the team that wins the title, they're going to rattle off a few here. And I might sound like a broken record, but it just feels like this Boston team is. This is the team that is built. Like last year with Denver, you could see, like, Bruce Brown left, but that's something. That's something. Boston, everyone's back. Everyone who played a role for them last year is back. And outside of Porzingis, who's only signed for like 1 or 2 more years, signed to multiple year extensions. I just think this team is the best overall. They're really well coached. They seem to have a bench lineup of crazy white boys, whether it be Peyton Pritchard, Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, potentially Baylor Shireman, who can all contribute. Listen, I hate to give you credit as a Celtics fan. It sucks. It's miserable. But they're the best team. They're the best team.
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk more about it as the year goes on. But I think...
they're a wagon, as our boy Omar always says. They're a wagon.
I think them winning and getting that monkey off their back is going to do a lot for them. And
then... I don't want to. Sorry to interrupt, but I
No.
think the fact that Jaylen Brown is coming in this season in like insane 8% body fat shape. He's mad he didn't make the Olympic team. Tatum is mad, talking on Jimmy Kimmel that he didn't play as much as he would have liked in the Olympics. For a championship team to have some
Motivation.
fire under them
Yeah.
is kind of rare. And I think they've got the right coach for that, because Joe Mazzulla, there's a fire under him at all times. And that fire is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
The royal family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.